we're here with our mascot, the Story Dude. So please, like the video, subscribe to Story Dude, and let's get into the stories.
Today I fucked up by being a coward and not being truthful to my parents about dropping out of uni. Since my grandma died in fall last year I, F25, have been on a continuous downward spiral due to my mental health failing me, hence why I also dropped out of uni earlier this year. But instead of actually getting help I just festered in my misery in hopes I can find a way to resolve everything without getting anyone else involved and becoming a burden on someone else. Obviously I didn't find a way because that's not how this shit works, and instead it just got worse and worse and I just withdrew from all my social circles that could have helped me out. The thing is, I am the child of very strict parents that pride themselves on having such a well-performing and absolutely not mentally ill self-sustaining daughter. I wish. We got into huge fights in the past whenever I didn't perform that well in school, so in my delusional mind I thought if I just ride the depressive phase out and just re-enroll everything would be alright and my parents would still be proud of me and never be the wiser. Well, that didn't happen either, and since my parents are claiming some financial benefits because of me being a university student, they asked for a certificate of enrollment a few weeks back to keep on getting those benefits. I always talked myself out of having to present it, like blaming some server issues on not having it already, despite those moments being the perfect opportunities where I could have come clean. However, today is the deadline of my lies working. And anxiety, my delusional mind and a good chunk of cowardice kept me from cleaning up my mess while also robbing me of sleep. I actually haven't slept in a few days. And what happens if your mental health is already shit and you don't get any sleep? Exactly, you do something very, very stupid. And the stupid thing I did was actually sitting down with a brain fueled by pure fear of owning up, started up Photoshop and committing forgery, actually sending it to my father's email. Yeah, I committed a crime just because I am too afraid to tell my parents that I am actually not okay. Anyway, my only hope now is that my father doesn't read his emails before the evening so that I can numb myself enough to actually get to them to confess everything. TLR went into a downward spiral regarding my mental health. Dropped out of uni without telling my parents. Didn't get help in hope I could just ride it out and re-enroll, and instead of just fessing up I committed forgery in a depressed no-sleep delusional stupor. Massive. Today I fucked up there. Fix it fast before you get into real legal trouble. Update. Because all are still on the clear it up train. So I went to my parents, went worse than expected. I mean, at least I don't have to expect legal issues since my dad didn't send off the papers, so that is out at least off my mind. However, I am now disowned for being too stupid and a disgrace for the family. The positive aspect of this, I will no longer have to fear disappointing them since, well, we are going completely separate paths. No. They also first wanted to get a lawyer to get me re-enrolled, but since I declined that, since I dropped out by my own choice because it was just too much, they went the disownment route. NGL, though it feels kinda great to be out of that family but also pretty lonely. Today I fucked up by not confessing my feelings to my best friend. I, 19M, have always had feelings for my best friend, 18F. We were in school together for 6 years and she was my very good friend from the start. I gradually developed feelings for her, but I was never gonna tell her as I thought we were too young and immature and it won't last for long. But as time went by, my feelings for her only became stronger and stronger, and our friendship too. She is the person I can tell all the problems to, and she shares literally everything with me too. In lockdown we both spent most of the time chatting with each other and watching shows together. We bonded like hell in those 2 years. But by talking to her I clearly knew she didn't feel the same way I felt about her. So I didn't confess my feelings to her because her friendship is more important to me than anything else. I didn't want to lose her by bringing this up. Fast forward to the college times. We didn't get into the same college and it hurt me so bad that we were gonna split up. She got some wonderful friends from the start and I am as lonely as I can get in the college. I am 1.5 years into the college and still don't have any good friend. But she has a very good friend circle, and few of them being her best friend. When she told me she had other best friends in college, it stung me like hell, which is kind of selfish, but I just couldn't help myself. She told me that no matter how many friends I have, you are my best friend for life and no one could replace you, and I believed her. But due to us being in different colleges and her having good friends she often hangs out with, we didn't talk as much as we used to. But still we'd talk occasionally on Insta and WhatsApp and talk on long calls once or twice a month and share everything. Fast forward to a week ago, she called me and said she had something very important she wanted to share with me. She said that one of her best friends, let's say Andy, told her that he liked her so much and had feelings for her. But she said didn't think about him that way. Andy said, I just had to tell you. The more I talked to you, my feelings for you would just become strong. He said that he didn't want to lose her because of this, but he couldn't talk with her for some days. She said Andy was genuinely a good guy and wouldn't take advantage of me and wouldn't just fool around. But she was afraid if their friendship might get ruined if something was to happen to their relationship in future. She talked to her other friend about this and she said that they are perfect for each other and everything would be fine in the future. Don't worry too much. Andy's friend also called her and told her that don't overthink it and if you like him just go ahead with it. She said she needs some time to think and she'll give her answer after some time. During this whole time, our conversation, I was just thinking please don't say yes. She didn't yet. But I didn't know for sure what was gonna happen. After couple of days we were having a casual conversation and this topic unfolded and she said that she was gonna say yes to him. And I felt this big shock and I didn't move an inch for 5 minutes. I felt like crying. I have never felt so broken. I couldn't let her know how I felt, so I said I was so happy for her. She hasn't said yes yet but she is going to in 3 days. Now I can't help but wonder what would have happened if I did confess my feelings. One thing I know for sure is that she wouldn't unfriend me because our friendship is too precious for her. I already wasn't so happy with my life and now I had to live with this. And I don't have anyone to share this with. I am so depressed by this and there's nothing I can do about it. I don't even have friends in college so my mind would divert. I'll just have to bury my feelings and I have no idea how am I gonna do that and the hard part, their relationship, hasn't even started yet. I don't know how am I gonna watch them together. I welcome any advices. P.S. I know I am too young for this, and I have so much to experience in life and this isn't the end. But can't seem to help myself. Too long did not read. I didn't confess my feelings to my best friend thinking it'd ruin our friendship and her other best friend did and she said yes and now I have to live with it. Not a TIFU. You still have her friendship, which is more important to me than anything else. But by talking to her I clearly knew she didn't feel the same way I felt about her. So I didn't confess my feelings to her because her friendship is more important to me than anything else. The way I see it you only have 2 options. 1. You bury your feelings and move on. Stay friends and find other girls to fawn after. This is the hardest with the biggest everyday struggle, but it keeps your friendship intact. 2. Tell her how you feel and be prepared that your friendship will crumble. She may flip-flop back to you and you may have a wonderful amazing relationship, but more likely it'll just create awkwardness and one or both of you will decide the friendship isn't worth maintaining. Too long did not read. Suck it up or abandon ship. You need to develop some friendships with people at your school.